We'd like to welcome everybody to our Natural Vibrational Healing Series 3. While we wait for people to continue to join our meeting, we'd like to ask everybody to mute themselves, to turn off their videos for privacy, and to remove any distractions, phones, pets. We will be recording this today for people that are unable to participate on the live Zoom event. At this time, we plan no questions and answers today, and we'll be able to say hello at the end when we unmute everybody. My name is Sandra Combe, and we will continue our introductions in just a few minutes. This is the Trinity Awakening, our Series 3 program of the power of self-love, with an emphasis today on the consciousness of water, or as the slide depicts, the waters of life. Today is September 5th, and our quote for the day is, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the world." The opening slide actually depicts a lot of the behind scenes of our Series 3, Awakening Your Inner Power. Power as your ability to create your world through your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Keys to achieving more in your life and moving beyond any and all limitations to unblock the human potential. This series has been a focus on self-help and personal growth. Consciousness and evolution. Consciousness as being a state of being awakened, and evolution changes over the successive generations, the sequence of events. And at this moment in time, we are being challenged with uncharted territory. Our social, economic, political, everything is unfolding, everything is new. We hope today that you also awaken your heart wisdom, that you awaken in life, that you apply the knowledge that you have gained and live it through wisdom. And bridging science and spirituality. I had a special slide, but it just seemed to be a whole lot more complicated, so I'm just going to share it for just a minute. And when I looked at the old paradigm of science and spirituality, I saw them as separated. Science wanted the evidence, and spirituality was more of an internal state of being. But if we look today, they've come together into this unity of a new unfolding of life, that science proves everything is vibration, everything is energy. Modern science, life science, has brought together this external and this internal consciousness into one. I'm going to ask Liz to open up with a few moments of some sound healing as she continues the introduction.
Thank you, Sandra. Welcome everybody to our third week, 3 is manifestation. I'd just like to say, because as you were talking there, the wonder of Zoom and the wonder of this whole lockdown has brought us together from across the other part of the world. America meets Ireland, which is absolutely wonderful to meet that vibration, and I'm very happy, and thank you for all of this beautiful help that you've given and how we've done this together. So I'm going to do a little bit of sound healing first, and then we'll go on to the next stage, okay? So if you'd like to now, just for a few minutes, to close your eyes and to breathe into your heart now. Because with the natural vibrational healing, we're going from the head and the heart space, and we're connecting them. what we're also doing is we're bringing down all of that, you know, that monkey mind, that chatter in our head, and we're coming down into our heart now. So we're letting go of all of that stress and anxiety, everything that's in our head now, and we're bringing it all down to that little space in our heart. Feel the sound, feel the vibration of the heart sound, resonance as we come together as one. Know the power of your intention and your heart space. Feel the warmth in your heart for yourself. As we start with the self-love, and then as we do it for ourselves, then we can send it out there. Our conscious intention of being in our heart space. So this is going to be a 1-hour webinar. We've done our introductions, but just like to say my co-host Sandra and how, you know, we came together to do this, and how this is our, I think it's our 11th, or yeah, it's our 11th, which is to a master number, 11, 2 ones, and you know, to just the beauty of this and the power of who we all are, to be here today as we continue through this program, that when we're in that space of self-love, when we're in that heart, how powerful it is, that we can feel, if anybody that you think of today as we continue to do this, they will actually feel that space of love. You know, the way the masters sit and they hold that space. We too can hold that space and be conscious of the power of who we are when we come from that heart space. We are the spirit, then we are that mind and that body. All are connected. All are as important to that space of self-love. When we're connected to that divine source, the spirit, then our mind is at peace and our body is disease-free. And that is to be in a beautiful awakened state. Free from disease. Pain is the messenger, as we know. And then we're going to go on to a guided meditation and our closing and gratitude of the space that we've created. Thank you, Sandra, today. So, as I said, Sandra's a co-host. She's a natural health and wellness teacher that's worked for many years in the corporate business, but brings this wonderful part of her together with the energy, just like the spirit and the mind, what we're talking about where science meets spirituality. So Sandra, for me, has brought all our beautiful gifts of working in that business into a space of mindfulness and natural health. And I feel for me, talking to Sandra and being with Sandra and working with her, to me, she epitomizes that wellness and health in everything that she does. It's all done from a heart space. And so to me, she shows me how you can be in both them spaces, in that business, in that corporate world, and in a space of wellness and love. And it's been a natural energy healer with the rising star and all the different things that she does. The list is endless, but wonderful, wonderful space to be in. And I really like, as we say, the yin and the yang. We've complemented one another so much, I feel. So I'd like to thank you on this final part of this series. Thank you once again, Sandra.
Liz, Dooley, you've been the grace, and I met you in Ireland, 10 years ago, working at the Creek and Wellness Center. You've been an unbelievable behavioral management therapist. You've done so many acupuncture and acupressure and cranial sacral healings on myself, and I'm so grateful. But what I'd like to say most about Liz is about, a lot of us talk about being the change and wanting to make the difference. She is the unity of global peace. She has 6 kids, grandkids. She works through all the different generations. And I think, being that therapist side and really experiencing the grace and blessings of life, she's kind of that gratitude in motion. And maybe this afternoon, if we have a few minutes, she might grace us with an oracle card reading too. Moving to the start of our program, Natural Vibrational Healing is a new business entity that Liz and I have started. And we have previously done 8 sessions associated with the elements and the chakra balancing. This is our 3rd series of the power of self-love. And we talk about this arc of human life, like depicted in this picture of this rainbow. And the rainbow is representative of the different chakra energy systems throughout our body. And the relationship and the experience we get with life, which is a relationship with the self. A very powerful quote from Wayne Dyer, who is a very inspirational author, says, "Change your thoughts and change your life." That was a book that he wrote in 2007, and here we are, 2020, looking at this quote again. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. The elements on the planet are the earth, the water, fire, air, and the ethers. They all work in cooperation. And this manifestation of 3, the Trinity of the spirit, mind, and body, are made up of those same elements. And one of the blessings that Liz and I had together was the grace of working in cooperation. Last week, we took a quantum leap through Painter's Palette, a beautiful original Mom's List meditation. And it was a quantum leap into self-love, revitalizing the living waters in our own body. And what we did is we took the paint palette inside of us as we went inside of our body to repaint self-love, to reconnect with our inner self. And another wonderful quote is, we have the opportunity in this life to be the painter and not the canvas, to participate in life versus just life happening, being mindful. Next, we will move to our Trinity Awakening Series 3rd program with Liz kicking us off about the water of life.
Thanks, Sandra. So we focused this week on the sacred healing waters because they play such a important, miraculous part of our life, actually. For centuries, many cultures have identified certain water sites to have miraculous healing and transformational properties. So one of them spaces is the grotto in Lourdes, which I've had the privilege and the pleasure to be there. And it's visited by millions of people for the miracle healing waters. It dates back to, I think I'm correct in saying 1858, when the Blessed Mother appeared to Saint Benedict. This is not about religion. This is about, you know, the healing of these waters. That I've met people out there from all over the world, from different religions, from different levels of very sick to, you know, just go to visit for themselves, for their spiritual sickness maybe even. And I never met one person that hasn't benefited from this visit, like myself, you know. So the water, it'll just show you how, when she said the water was blessed, and we have sites all around the world. We actually have one in Dungarvan, in Mount Melleray. We have one in Knock. They're all over the world, where the sacred sites where the water is blessed, and where once we believe and send that intention, that's what we're talking about when we send that intention, or we have that intention, that water heals. And I had a personal experience of that with a little child that was healed by the waters in Lourdes. So the true power of water. Water has a memory, as we know, from a motto. So we all love the sound of the rain, the waterfalls, the ocean. But today we're focused on the same water that's inside our body. Because we're an extension of the ocean, we are not separate. The sacral chakra, as our emotional body, controls the energy of the flow and fluidity. Energy in emotion equals emotions. So now the body is made up of 70% of water. The earth is made up of 70% of water. We are not separate. The water element on the planet and in our body balances the harmony and flow of our life. And the water flowing and the emotion have direct effect on our wills. When we send gratitude and love to the water element, for instance, we can actually, as we know with a motto, we can send that love and energy and that gratitude to the water that we drink. And when we send it to the water that we drink, it is shown that the molecular structure of the water changes. Also, that creates a destructive world and energy, and also disease within our body. So what we're digesting, we're putting into our body. Our thoughts are creating disease or health, whichever we choose. So that's how powerful we are. We can create this health in our body, or we can destruct ourselves with our anger, our resentment, and whatever else it is that we send into our body.
Thank you, Liz.
So, yeah.
Speaking about the 70% of body water in our body, this is just a wonderful slide. I know it's a lot of pictures, but what it looks at is the physical aspect of what the water inside of us, on the physical side, looking at the brain and our heart in our body is 70% water. Our lungs are 80% water. And that blood is composed of 50% water. As we look at these physical numbers, they're going to be plus and minus depending on what scientist and physician that you talk to. But what Liz is going to give us a little insight is through her acupressure and Chinese medicine expertise, is some of the emotions also associated with those physical organs. 80% of muscles and kidneys are water, 30% of our bones, and 60% of our skin is water. So it's amazing to look at the dynamics of this water in our physical being, and our eyes are 90% water. So you take all these numbers together and you come up with 70% water. But the realization is the water that comes in continues to recycle, that the water is essential for all life. But we bring the water in through our body, we dispose of the water, it comes back through the earth, the clouds. I mean, everything is connected. So it's to look at the purity of the water that comes into the body, that flushes the toxins, moves the nutrients, and moves this whole dynamics of physical organ system. Liz?
Thanks, Sandra. And also the fact to tell, studies have shown that monks in a dam in Asia, how they prayed for the water, to clear the water, and how the water cleared from just prayer. So this is it. Polluted water can actually be safe to drink when them incantations have gone in there. So it's the same with our body. It's the same with our mind when it's polluted. When we have stagnation in our body, like if everything is not flowing, and nothing will flow with ease and flow if we're not hydrated. For instance, our body is made up of 70%, our brain, sorry, and our heart. So if we have a headache, rather than reaching for that pill first, we hydrate our brain, we hydrate our body. We walk, we go in the fresh air. When we look at our bones and the amount of water, yes, we need calcium, but calcium is also in water. When we clear out our kidneys, so it's vital that because kidneys are the water element, and kidneys also, from an Oriental perspective, hold our DNA, our pre-heaven essence, all our ancestral traumas, as does our pericardium in our heart. So if we're conscious that we're drinking that water and setting the intentions of different things that we're doing, of letting go of anger and resentment, of letting go of fears and traumas, when we drink that water, it's like a visual looking of a washing machine, of us being cleansed, especially in the liver, where the toxins are, of everything being cleared and cleansed out, coming in, and as Sandra said, and being recycled. And the eyes are the openings into the liver. And the liver talks about anger and resentment. So if your eyes are not clear, if you're not hydrated, if there's toxins in your body, you're not seeing the bigger picture. You're not seeing clearly. Anger clouds our mind and our eyes. Also, anger and different things change the consistency of the blood, stops the blood flowing. It becomes thicker. So water is vital. So as we said, the blood gets thicker when we decrease the water, and it gets harder to pump around our body, and our heart rate increases. The studies have shown that most people that have heart problems and have actually had heart attacks and strokes have actually been dehydrated. So it's imperative that we drink a certain amount of water every day, and actually not when we get thirsty, we should, when we get thirsty, it means it's gone past that stage. So we should be actually drinking it consistently. Pain is also a symptom of dehydration. Things like headaches, maybe stomach aches, maybe constipation. It affects the gut, it affects all the digestive system. It affects our breathing actually, because that's the first protocol. We need 80% of water in our lungs. So if we're dry, if the atmosphere is dry, you notice people will go fight or flight, they'll hyperventilate. And so the first thing they'll say is, take a deep breath and take a glass of water. If you think about all them simple practical things that we do when somebody feels faint, we give them a glass of water. So drinking water energetically, we can reset everything from the inside out. In other words, like drinking our water with intention. Can I take the top off it? When I drink my water, I set an intention that I'm bringing love into my body. And so when I'm digesting it, I'm digesting that love in my body. And when I set the intention, when we keep doing them intentions, everything starts to change. We become healthier. We are healthier because we've set the intentions. And so we are the recycle of the living waters. Science has proven that everything is energy and vibration. We're always recycling. We go on. And energy, think about energy. You send somebody love. You say something in a kind way. People resonate with you when your energy is kind. But people also feel it when your energy is not. It threatens them or whatever it does. So we may not always oblige, but we can speak obligingly. So let's start to be not just honest with ourselves, let's be honest with others. Rather than hold that anger and that resentment, let's find a way of not sitting in under the fence, or on the fence, I should say. Let's find a way that we can confront situations in a loving way and not just ignore things where we're getting anxious or we're getting angry because we're not speaking our truth. So, as I said, we may not always oblige, but we can speak obligingly. Water has the consciousness. If anybody wants to look up a motel and see how conscious the waters are, like what we said, the holy water, like what we said, the water in our body. It responds to sound, the same as we do. Beautiful music makes us peaceful. Meditation, intention makes us calmer. So if you think that we're 70% of that water, what we're sending out there to the universe, which is 2/3 of water, we may only be a drop in the ocean, but we're part of the ocean. And every single drop is as important, no lesser and no more. So what if we had the capacity to change the water structure with our intentions? Well, the truth is we have, and we can.
Beautiful, Liz.
What if the water holds our vibration of thoughts? Yeah. It does hold our vibration.
Right, so this slide depicts the secrets of water unfolding. And although it's just a series of questions, just to plant the seeds in your mind is exactly what Liz says. What if the water holds our vibration of thought? What if the world we are seeing, we are creating? What if we have the capacity to change our world in any moment, choosing gratitude and love, or choosing anger and discontent? Our choice. What if we see the clouds as only our passing thoughts, as this picture depicts? See the clouds as thoughts passing in your mind. What if we could send out love, peace, and truth? Maybe we could see that our inner world has become our outer world. Water is a vital force. It's the center of life. It's essential for life. Next, Liz is going to guide us through a self-healing meditation.
Thanks, Sandra. Again, what we were talking about with the clouds, because the clouds again are the water, and how the power of our mind, and if we find it hard to meditate or whatever it is, because a lot of people may say when they start off doing meditation that they find it hard because their mind is busy. So we're going to start off today with how a simple way of letting all them thoughts go and letting our mind be free for a little space of time while we're doing this meditation. We will see the clouds and we will see our emotion as the clouds in the sky. They may be the dark clouds where it's anger. There may be the bright clouds where it's joy. Or whether our mind is busy in whichever way that it is, knowing that the clouds are moving, the anger is moving, the joy is moving, and everything passes, because this too shall pass. So we're going to breathe now into our heart. When we look, it's important that we see it's a self-healing meditation, meaning that we heal ourselves. The meditation is just a tool to help you go into that space of self-healing. A drop of water, if it could write out its own history, would explain the universe. Inside the universe, inside the drop of water, is the universe. That's who we are. We are everything and no thing at the same time. We're going to bring the mind and the heart connection together now. We're taking 3 breaths of life force energy, conscious of our breath now. We breathe in through our nose, out through our nose, conscious of our heart. Nobody wants anything from us now. and nobody needs anything from us. Just to be in that space of our heart. In our heart, where that beautiful rose, where our soul lies, where our little inner child that's hidden, that's come in pure as the water, pure as the blessed water, and then has experienced life's experiences, tribulations, fears, traumas, whatever it is. And in the space of the pericardium, as the heart lives on, are all of those anxieties, stresses, fears, because it's our heart protector. And remember that we have the key to open our heart, to open them gates with that golden key, the key to happiness, to joy, to peace, and to gratitude. Let's breathe into that heart now. We're going to open our crown chakra as we breathe into our heart. And as we open our crown chakra, we're bringing down the universal love and light. Our connection to Source and consciousness is the most important part of our spiritual, mental, emotional, and physiological well-being. Let's reconnect any of the parts that we've disconnected from or lost through our fears and through our traumas. See them as beams of light now, going through our crown chakra. As it goes through our crown chakra like a laser beam of light now, we bring it down to our third eye chakra. Our pineal gland, our master gland. Bring it down, clearing and cleansing like that laser beam of light that it is, all powerful. See it light up every single cell in our body now, in our brain now, releasing any stagnation, any sickness or disease. Let's see it being blasted by the light. We then go to our throat chakra. And our throat chakra is the opening into all the other chakras. And see our throat chakra now, if we need to clear our throat, or feel the energy of the light now, as it laser beams every part of our throat now, every part of our throat chakra, that we may speak our truth and speak clearly. And let's bring that laser beam of light as it travels through our body now, down into our heart as we breathed into our heart. As we see ourselves as that little joyous child, that baby, that innocence, that love, that trust, everything that we are as we were born, that perfect energy. And if there's anything trapped in our energy field in our heart, any fears, any heartache, anything now that we are ready to let go of, that we have the golden key to our heart, we can open those gates and we can allow that light in, because we are that light. And we go from the heart now as we travel down our body into every cell and every organ, our muscles, our tendons, our blood vessels, cleaning and cleansing with that light, laser beam of light. We go into our solar plexus now, our self-esteem, our power, our gut feeling, our gut reaction, our second brain. And we blast it with that light of universal love. And we feel it lighter and brighter. We're letting go of those old belief systems now. Anything that's not real. That fear, false evidence appearing real. The only thing that's real is love. Now as we go down to our sacral chakra. Again to the water element, to the emotions. We imagine the beam of light now blasting into their emotional part, cleaning and cleansing any emotion. Expanding our creativity, cleaning away any blockages that hamper us from having beautiful relationships with ourselves and then others. And finally, we go to our root chakra now. We ground ourselves in the here and the now. And imagine that that beam of light is shooting from the universal love, grounding us, a vision of being in the earth. That light is in the earth. Go back to the earth. And we are strong, just like that tree. The tree of life. Feel yourself grounded now. All the energy, what no longer serves us, has gone back into that earth. And we are that extension of that light. Feel that light. The light is within you because you are the light. Just for one moment now, as that light is within you, see the power of you and your intention to send out that light to all other beings, to plants, to animals, to everything on this earth. The water in you sends out to the ocean the love and the gratitude. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Liz. That was beautiful. I'd like everybody to open their eyes and wiggle their toes and fingers and join us as we close our webinar. The next slide is just a beautiful, beautiful picture, and it says that water is the driving force in nature. And I want you to notice now the reflection. The reflection in the water. Is that outside of us? Or is that the water inside of us? And I love the saying, as above, so below, as within, so without. I hope that you have gained a higher perspective today of the consciousness of water as the water of life, as the water recycles through our body. Self-love can be self-care and self-healing, self-respect, self-compassion, self-care.
So, thank you, Sandra. Water is the absolute life force and lifeblood of the body. And as the water ripples into every cell, every muscle, every nerve, and every bone in our body, we will feel healthier, much more connected, much more focused in every way. Change your water and change your life. Our blood, our blood in our body will flow freer. Everything flows freely. Our flexibility, our eyesight, everything flows just as the water flows. So it's our life force energy. So when we say change our water, change our life, change our intention when we drink the water. Change how we treat our body. Look at every glass of water that you drink as another part of your healing process. When I drink the water, every time I drink water now, I send love into my body. I send true health into my body. I send the intentions of the water into my body. So infuse, as Sandra would say, love, love, love to every single cell, to every single organ, to help support our healing if we're going through anything, any health issues. It supports us. What if we are now creating our future moment? We are. It's already done. As we say that love, 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 who said that we should stop doing things at a certain age? It becomes vital, our vital energy. We have that energy when we hydrate our body, when our thoughts are fluid. Our bodies are sacred, living, healing, and it's conducted by the waters of our life, by the way that we digest things, by the way that we send our intention of ease and flow. Thank you.
Moving to the last few slides as we close our presentation. This is just a beautiful depiction of unity in the world. The world needs you to make peace with yourself. Once again, he who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the world. As you can see, these are children's hands, our inner child, growing up in these uncharted territories of this new world, where self-love fills our thoughts, words, and actions. But only when we awaken and take the accountability to become mindful of the choices in our lives, and then we become the creative force. And we allow this water to help cleanse us, to purify us. The research done on this webinar has been an amazing, life-altering experience for me. I've always blessed my food, but now I bless the water, realizing that the water is also the life force of our higher consciousness within. Life is a relationship with the self. These are a couple of pictures that we have previously shown in our other series. The first one is a beautiful pendant. It is unity of the spirit, mind, and body. It is a symbol that depicts all religions and all numerology in the universe. It is actually white gold. And then we have the pendant of the heart with the royalty of the crown, which is the divinity within. We have spent this series focusing on the heart and mind reconnection, where the heart separated itself from the mind for us to experience the ego self. And now is the time for the heart and mind reconnection into the oneness, into the unity. A few affirmations, and Liz will share a few of her own. A few affirmations on this relationship with the self is: my relationship with my life becomes my masterpiece. I breathe in the breath of life, and I breathe out the past. I create my own legacy of love, 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 the power of 3 manifestation, the manifestation of the Trinity awakening as we unify our spirit, mind, and body into one God self. Liz, are there any other affirmations our mantras you'd like to share with the group?
Just the one that I do every day, 1 or 2 that I do every day in every way. I'm feeling healthier, happier, and more joyful. That's one that I do every day. I'm more flexible. I may say that. If I'm feeling a bit stiff when I get up in the morning, I say every day in every way I'm feeling more and more flexible. Whatever it is, younger, whatever it is that you have a preference to say for yourself, and see it as already being done. Thanks, Sandra.
Mm-hmm. So this is the closing slide of the power of self-love, our Trinity awakening. Once again, that Trinity being the spirit, mind, and the body coming into unity consciousness. Back to the beginning picture of the arc of life as we move across the rainbow throughout the chakras and elements in our energy centers, in our physical being, with the realization that self-love is self-healing, and to honor the flow of life with the realization that we too are the elements. We are the earth. We are the water. We are the fire, the sun outside of us, and the fire of the sun in our heart, in our digestion, that keeps our temperature alive. We are the air, and we are the ethers. The ethers as being the space between our trillions of cells and our organs, just like the stars and the planets in the universe. Honor the flow of life. Live in cooperation with your spirit, mind, and body. I'd like to thank Liz. I couldn't have picked a more open-hearted co-host. And I am just very filled with gratitude to be able to complete this series of The Power of Self-Love. Liz?
Thank you, Sandra. I'd like to thank you as well. It's been wonderful doing this series with you. And like the water, we've both gone with the flow. And it's been so wonderful to be able to do that with somebody. So once again, I'd like to say thank you.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and